Calm down there, buddy. Excuse me. Von Karma? 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. He's so angry. Look, you can see his malice in his eyes. It was the night of the 24th. Just after midnight, yep. Just after midnight, you say? Yep, just around then. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yep. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did. Yep. You see? Continue. I was in the restaurant, where I rent boats, as usual. Is there anyone who can verify that? Well, I guess Polly could. That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot? Don't be so hard on the girl, Keithy boy. Keith? The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue. And I heard a bang. Yep. And where did the bang seem to come from? From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yep. Good. Continue. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just a-floating on the lake. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. Couldn't see clearly. I figure there were 2 men out there, yep. But you couldn't see them clearly. Yep. At the time, that is. At the time. And I heard another bang. So you heard 2 gunshots total. Yep. That's what Lotta said in her testimony yesterday. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. By your window? Yep, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. I have a bad feeling about this. The man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad. Dead certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by too. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. Oh, he just died? I've lost the voice again. Sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into a cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I'd better act quick, or this trial's going to be over. Let's wait and see. But how can I raise an objection without any proof? Judge, there's no room for doubt in the witness's testimony. I demand that you declare your verdict. The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? Let's wait again. I can't... Oh, okay. Nick, we have to do something. If we stay quiet now, Mr. Edgeworth will be found guilty for sure. It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you. He's incompetent. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. If he can wake up, that is. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No! This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, guilty. Incompetence. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. The court is adjourned. Wow. Wait! Who was that just now? Me! Huh? What? What? Mr. Butts? What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? Even though you should probably get in trouble for just barging into the court like this. The gunshot. I heard it too. Order! What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So, you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience, listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. But I'll testify. Let me testify. Order! Order! Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry, he could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there's another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. Waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict, except for ones where you're instantly declared guilty unless we have a good, reason that you can prove that he couldn't possibly have done it. Because that's how courts work in Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney, in order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Can he do that? I don't know. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now. What? Do it, nerd! The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. Oh, he's getting a little feisty there. Whoa, that was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. I mean, we could try to talk to him. Larry was at the lake that night? Yes. He said he went looking for the Steel Samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right. Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses. Perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15. Everything depends on Larry now. Alright, back to trial. Let's see how bad we can screw this one up. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. The night of the murder. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I, found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. So interesting, only mentioning a single gunshot, whereas everyone else has said two. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any matter, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I've no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. I don't really understand why we're pressing him on these things. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There were so many things wrong, I don't even know where to begin. Well, okay. First of all, what time is it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? I was looking for something and I, found it. Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. You know, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if that was the truth. This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Don't you mean the wet noodle? Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12 o'clock. Yeah. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Also, it was nighttime. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know? Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa. Everyone just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick, it was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Alright, so clearly we need to go with the one bang. So this was fired 3 times. I wonder if we can present this. Maybe not. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. Okay, whoops. Okay, 2 gunshots. That's probably it. Yeah, there we go. Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. I find it funny, actually. If he was sitting in the audience, that means that he was called for jury duty. At least that's, I think, maybe Japanese is different, but So I just find it interesting that he happened to get called to jury duty during this trial. I don't know, just kind of interesting. Huh? Just whoever's nearby, can you please come by? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts? What? You only heard one gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Oh, not sure? How could you not be sure? Well, yeah. I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude! On my headphones. What? I was hoping it was something important, but I feel like that's a not. Order! Order! And stop that booing! Mr. Butts? You were listening to a radio on earphones? Yeah, so what? That's a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Continue? Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah! Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony. And be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I'd heard it too. You were listening to your radio? At a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough. It is difficult to believe this testimony. Objection! Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer. The guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so we could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very, very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Excuse me. I'm getting a little tired here. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. So you turned on the radio? Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like out there, alone on Christmas Eve, alone. I shouldn't have said anything. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? Do you by any chance remember the name of the program you were listening to? This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set to that night? Pretty loud, Your Honor. I was listening to it real boomin' loud like. Real booming loud? Yeah, you know. And you had headphones on. Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. Yeah, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. What did he say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said to us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care! We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine. Very well, that was an awful reason, but go ahead. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when he said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there's only one gleaming ray of hope in there. Or there's one. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Alright. Let me take a look at our options here. That's interesting. I didn't notice that till now. Apparently the time of death is sometime on the 24th or 25th. So it's not necessarily Christmas night. I didn't notice that till now. I wonder if we could use that. They're saying it's almost Christmas. I wonder. Let's try it. Nope, that wasn't it. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow. It contradicts the, I thought... You don't sound very convinced, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled. I'm not sure exactly where we would hit there. I wonder if the real loud booming would potentially take a picture? Nah. I'm kind of stretching a bit now. I'm not sure. Yeah, let me look this up because I don't want to run out of choices. I should also probably save. But yeah, let me take a look real quick, see if I can figure it out.